What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with episode 13 of Nightly Valor, our attempts to bring the light of the Lady of the Lake to the old world and hold back some of the misguided forces of light and order, while preparing ourselves for the inevitable crushing blow that is going to be the Chaos Invasion, and all of the associated mayhem and stuff that comes with them. So, yeah. If I sound a little bit off my game today, guys, it's because I just got back from an incredibly long road trip for work. Of course, my Rigger family, and that's Rigger with an R, is incredibly awesome. Love spending time with you guys, even though it was a long week. And I picked up a cold because of the amount of burlap that I breathed in, or Hessian, as Arimon would put it, because, let's face it, he's very technical. He's a weird guy, but I love him to death. Well, he's put up with me for 30 plus years, so let's face it, I'm not getting rid of him anytime soon. Anyway, so over the last few weeks, and despite the absence, we've been dealing with Nordic invasions from the Norskins up here. Wolfric the Wanderer coming down and trying to be a pain in the butt. Grimaldus has gone out and done a little bit of cleaning up in the ocean. And we went to war with Tilea, the mercenary sort of state from the south, and we're trying to take back Sarsasone, and we've already taken back Brion. Phoenix is going down to join Muffin, Liancourt, and Chivalroy to try and take Sarsasone back. It's a shame that we don't have the Fey Enchantress right now because she got wiped out, so I'm not sure if we're going to pick her up during the entire campaign. I'm not entirely positive how the legendary lords work in that situation. But we're going to take back Bretonnian soil and then push on from there, probably through Bibaldi and Magrita, and try and take at least the western coast of the old world. We don't really have much else to do on this starting turn because, well, we set it up so that when we left, everything was all fun, fine, and dandy. And we'll have to get few more troops building up. We're 35 out of 36 for our peasants. It's not going to be too big of a deal. Every city we get right now gives us 2, I believe. I don't know if we've researched... Oh, we have researched the water pumps, so each one will give us 3. Yeah, that's me remembering everything positively perfectly. But let's hand it over to the other nations and see how it goes. Now, at time of recording, the Pirate Coast, the Vampire Coast DLC is due to launch tomorrow, so we're probably going to see a few minor changes in the campaign, just like what happened when we had the Queen and the Crone DLC come out. And it'll change things slightly. It'll give us the ability to fight ocean battles a little bit better. We won't have to worry about losing troops on the ocean for no reason, and will allow us to actually use our cavalry-based forces to crush pretty much everybody, because let's face it, Bretonnian cavalry, best cavalry. Anyway, so that comes out tomorrow as of time of recording, so today when you guys are watching this, and it looks fantastic. I mean, I'm big on the fact that they're putting the side events in, the extra campaign books, the extra army books. It's just a great thing overall. And I've been playing a lot of Valkyria Chronicles 4, though, again, not this week, because I've been in a van most of that time, intermixed with doing the John Mellencamp concerts and Russell Peters setting up his comedy show. Don't personally like him myself, but he's got a big enough crowd, and he had a great show, so that's all I can wish for from my perspective and what I do for work, which is always good. No one got hurt, show went up nice and easy, came down nice and easy, and we got one more John Mellencamp show to do sometime in the next week or so. So, it'll be great. I do really love what I do for work.
Speak, and I will see if it is within my power to give.
Alright, Tyrion, what do you want? A trade agreement? Yeah, we'll take that, because if we can get you on board with us and make you our ally, or at least favorable to us, we can kind of ignore the ocean lanes and focus on pushing inland. I'd love to go down and start getting the air entry wars on board, but we also have to worry about the threat of chaos coming up in the not too distant future, And it's not exactly the greatest thing in the world. They show up in the Warriors of Chaos, which are their primary army, and they are a horde nation. They don't make settlements. It's a leftover from Attila, which is great. It really fits their style, fits how they work. But they're not the only army that shows up. They show up in 3 separate factions, some of which are based on the ocean to start with, and those guys will cause us nothing but problems, especially if we leave our coastline unguarded. So we're not going to do that. So let's get Phoenix over to help us out here. The extra addition of his peasantry will definitely not hurt us. Now if we look at what's going on, we've got an equal battle, but we're going to wait one more turn at least to get some siege towers. The quicker we can get up onto the walls, the better off we're going to be. And if we can get them to suffer some attrition, so 7 more turns, that'll probably work out better for us. One thing we'll probably do in the long run is summon the Green Knight and throw him into the King's army. He's a very powerful hero. Might not be the King's army because he's full. Might throw him in with Phoenix to add to the Knights of the Lionhearted. That'll be pretty good. Overall, we've been kind of waiting and building up our forces. So let's upgrade Bretonnia, even though it's a small minor settlement and we're suffering control issues right now, mostly because of the chaos corruption. It's part of why we had to come down and cleanse this area, so that the chaos corruption gets pushed back. And of course up in the north, we can get Grimaldus to get out of the area of the sea where, well, he's losing troops to just the vagaries of being on the ocean. We don't have to worry about pushing east right now because the Empire's pretty much got it locked down, but they're going to get hammered hard when the inevitable war with Chaos starts. But it gives us Grimaldus holding secure up in the north. Let's look at Paravon and see if we can get them to confederate with us. Not right now, apparently, and we're losing rep with them. Past trees with Musalon, which should degrade over time. It's not going to be too bad. And we do have the war with the Goblin tribe, the Crooked Moons, I believe they're called. And we could have Thegan's errantry join with us right now. Are we at war with Kimmery and all them? I'm not really sure if we are. It's been a couple of days, so I haven't had a chance to get in there. We haven't even discovered them yet, so I don't think we are at war with them. We are not. So, if we can get Thegan's errantry on board, that gives us a section of the desert under our control. It's not too great, but it gave us a couple of cities. Martek and Al-Halik. That's actually a major boon. Al-Halik is the capital of that entire area. And if we can get Thegan? No, it's not Thegan's errantry. What am I thinking of here? Wow, my brain has just... Knights of Origio? Yes, Knights of Origio. If we can get them on board too without a fight, that would be great. And the Knights of the Flame are still alive, so you can do that too. I don't want to expand too far into the Southlands right now, because again, we're going to be dealing with a lot of stuff coming up in the not too distant future. But this gives us kind of an option to hold on to things. Martek has a Grail Chapel, which is always great. We can get another damsel out there, and it increases our peasant economy. Should probably get a hero down there getting ready. We are now making a fair amount of money. So let's see if we can recruit a lord down there. We could get Albrecht of Bordelot. I don't really know if I want to use a legendary lord down there. Virtue of Stoicism Lord. And there's actually one of the new subs that we can use him for. Al-Halik itself does not have a Grail Chapel, so we can't do anything with that. But this can be Lord Eddie. We'll get a small army going, put him in an encamped stance, and see how it works out. For now, we'll get a non-aggression pact with Cetra, and a military access pact. Khemri is not the Tomb King nation that I'm really worried about. That would be these guys right here, the followers of Nagash. They tend to be a little bit more aggressive, and they have vampire count units in them, which makes them tougher to deal with. And the Rakaf dynasty, I'm not really too sure. But if we can get some trade going on with these guys at least, we can focus on a desert war later on. So that definitely helps us out. And we have another knight too. I didn't realize we were going to get a paladin out of it. Let's see what he's got. Oh, he's got the virtue of the joust. It's not bad. And he has a student, increasing our tech gain, which is great. So, let's toss him in. And we're going to call him Sarfurix, because that's another sub and a fellow YouTuber. Puts out some pretty good content. That should not be a double, I don't think. Hoping it's not. And no, we are pretty good overall. Alright. So he hasn't moved yet. Let's get him to head up towards Al-Halik. I guess that's all we can do for this turn, so let's just pass it off to the other nations and see what they're going to get up to. I mean, the Empire is doing a lot. They have a lot of greatswords in Volkmar's army. That's a lot of greatswords. And knights. Wow, that is a tough army. I do like the Empire, it's just don't like how their units look. They have a lot of Germanic traits to them. I like the fact that they get a lot of different kinds of wizards. Depending on which schools of magic you build in Altdorf and other places, you can get access to any wind of magic. Just, some of them seem a little goofy to me. And, okay, that's a little different. The Archlector is Balthazar Geld. Volkmar the Grim should be that. Archlector being the religious leader. It'd be even better if it was a warrior priest, but that's okay. And the dwarves confederated with Karak Hirn makes them slightly stronger in the southwest, I believe. Could just be south of them in the World's Edge Mountains. It's not the World's Edge Mountains. Or am I thinking World's Edge Mountains? So many mountain ranges are named... Wow, okay, that's weird. I have to interrupt myself here. The greenskins and the dwarves are at peace. Now I know it's a game and doesn't focus on the fluff as much, considering the nations have to act like individual players on the board, but in the fluff that would never happen. And right now, the High King of the Dwarves would be shaving his head, dyeing it orange, and going on a Slayer quest for doing that. Because the Garobi and the Dawi don't get along at all. A lord and a hero are coming down towards the shores. I think the good chaplain might get involved in a fairly one-sided fight here. Of course, we're going to see some of the Tomb King's armies now. Hekenerus, I'm hoping, is going to move away from us, but apparently not. One of the things about the desert areas is you have to, as a living army anyway, stay on the forested, treed areas of the map. Otherwise, you suffer desert attrition, which definitely unhealthy for any of your armies. Now, it looks like they're bringing an extra army in. We're going to have to push the assault on Sarsassoni this turn. We can't afford them getting in on the fight. I'd love to get them to a point where they're suffering attrition, but... well, we can't risk it. Not with another army coming in. If we can engage that out on the open plains, that's a completely different story. Our Calf Dynasty is doing something with one of their Lich, or Necrotechs, that's what it is. They've got Lich Priests and Necrotechs and a bunch of stuff like that, guys that maintain their tombs. Alright, so Lady Ryan has actually gained a rank. And she pretty much has all of the spells that we could possibly want, and she's got full cleanse corruption. So let's get her a unicorn. And a Beastman army has shown up. It's kind of what I didn't want to have happen. So let's summon the Green Knight. And if we can select him, there we go. You can hop into Lord Phoenix's army. Now, no one's really sure what the Green Knight actually is, but with him in the fight, it's going to be a little bit easier. Some say he's the reincarnated spirit of Gilles le Breton himself. Others say that he's the will of the Lady Made Manifest, and there's just a ton of stuff that people think that he is. No one's entirely sure. We do have our Pegasus Knights that are gold veterancy, and of course our heroes, which are going to cause a lot of problems. Let's gamble on 11. It might not be a great idea, but it was not bad. So our infantry is pretty much all set up for all of our siege equipment. Now King Lewin is on Bequee, so we can get him up on the walls pretty quickly. And our other lords and ladies are not yet on flying mounts. Well, the sorceresses can't, but that's fine. Not too concerned of where the infantry is set up because they're in a pretty good position. But we're going to bring our Knights of the Realm back a little bit, put them in their lance formation, because, well, it's the lance formation. Our anti-infantry, I really screwed up that saying. Go back there. Our yeomen, we can get set up over there. And our Pegasus Knights, we can storm these walls pretty easily. And of course, we have a ton of reinforcements coming in. So we're going to start the battle and then pause really quick. And we'll let the trebuchets do their thing. Have those guys attack the wall. Send our siege towers forward. King Lewin, go after those crossbowmen. And our Pegasus Knights can land on the wall and attack those spearmen. Let's get Dai and Ryan a little bit closer, and SRPC a little bit closer too, so they can help out with morale. We'll put our yeomen up too to shoot. Our archers are just slightly out of range, so let's just bump them up so they can be within range and let everything start rolling. And here come all of the reinforcements. So let's pause just quickly here. Let's make a pilgrim group. We can get going up on those walls. These archers can come in and join the rest of the group. Our Grail Relique can get down there. The other units of swordsmen will get to come as close to the front as we can. They can go up one of the towers once it hits the walls. And we'll have the other lords kind of ride up towards the front.
Hero of Bretonnia!
start getting everyone within range of the walls. We just have a massive amount of troops coming in. And Ryan, let's see if we can get you to cast a thunderbolt down on those handgunners. Let's get our Pegasus Knights falling back a little bit. Of course, using all of the arcane abilities that they have. Alright, so which units of Pegasus Knights is that? And the other unit of Pegasus Knights... Go after those crossbowmen. I want to fight them up on the walls with our Pegasus Knights. Taking some hits, but it's not bad. Let's get our Green Knight up in place. It's a really cool model, all things considered. Alright, I think it's time to pull the Pegasus Knights back slightly. We don't want them getting killed off. Especially not while we're actually holding the walls. We get Phoenix's special knights back as well. King Lewin is doing some major work on Bequi though. Get the rest of our troops up on the walls. If we can win the walls, we can pretty much win the entire fight. All those battle pilgrims charging up. That's the legendary unit, the Regiment of Renown, with their special weapons.
Oh man! Up you go! Up you go! Yes, my lord!
Let's just keep sending our troops up the walls. Let's get the Green Knight charging through the now open gates. Actually, with the gates open, we can send pretty much all of our troops through.
Ready for the charge, knights! For the king! Infantry!
Let's get our Grail Relic going through. And where's our unit that has... There we go. We're essentially winning the walls at this point. And our archers are doing some major work. So our PC can get involved over there too. This has turned into a one-sided fight very quickly. And the Green Knight does have a Dolorious Blade. It's a major, major boost for him. If we can get him to kill Leonardo Catraza, that'll cripple the rest of their morale. Looks like the morale is already crippled as is. It's that mortar that's causing some issues down here. But we'll send the king over to deal with it. Their morale is pretty much shattered right now. And there's our victory. We don't want to lose any more troops, so we're just going to end the battle there. We really, really did not lose that many troops. 243, 275? It's still a lot of troops to lose, and some of them were expensive. But, grand scheme of things, that was not a whole lot to lose to take over a city. And of course, we are going to occupy it.
Smite them.
Valorous Standard, a Valet, Potion of Healing, Court Jester ×2, and a lot of leveling up. So Muffin's going to get the Knight's Vow so we can get some cavalry in his army.
Blessings of the lady be upon you.
Shiffroy, let's make him a little harder to hit. He's got Lowborn Militia, which we inherited him, so it's not that great. Lady Di, we can get Power Drain, increasing her energy reserves.
And wisdom are yours.
But we also don't want to leave these guys just coming in. So let's grab our other lords.
Do you know who I am? I will indulge.
Stack them up next to him.
I will indulge you. My reputation precedes me. To victory!
And we will declare war on the Beastmen tribes. See if we can get them to commit to a fight. Now that they've run, though, they can't really run away again.
Noble.
So let's just get our other two lords
Lord and hero.
in a position where they can fight.
My strength and wisdom are yours.
Send Phoenix and the Green Knight to fight them. It's a little bit outside where we usually fight, but we haven't seen Minotaurs yet, so let's go in and deal with them. And we have the Green Knight, so that's just going to be straight up awesome. And special units of Knights of the Realm, which are good against large, so those Minotaurs don't really stand a chance. And we have reinforcements coming directly from behind us. So let's create an infantry line, as you do. Put our Lion-Hearted Knights off to one side, get them ready to charge after those Minotaurs. The Green Knight can be up front. Lord Phoenix there. And set up our archers. And the rest of our infantry from Shiffroy's force is coming in. Let's actually group up all of the Pox arrows. Wow, those are substantial forces. I didn't realize we had that much. Let's get the field trebuchet up front, though. They aren't really advancing on us, so we can take some time, group our troops up properly, and get set to engage them on our terms. So let's just pause real quick. Have our units of infantry get set up, with our knights backing them up. Put the Green Knight in one of the weaker places on the line with one of our lords. Put Chivalry and Phoenix in a place where they're most likely going to see the most action. Bring the field trebuchets forward. Group up all of our archers. One long line. We'll watch the entire army advance. We'll speed it up just a little bit until they start moving. At least until the field trebuchet starts firing off rocks, which will be great. Well, pieces of castle. I'm really surprised the beastmen didn't charge us. But if they're just going to sit there and take the damage from our war machines, then I'm okay with that. Just takes a while for the war machines to get into position. Let's see if we can get a good look at the Minotaurs before our war machines start firing. They're pretty cool models. That said though, they're filthy beastmen in Bretonnian lands. They need to be scrubbed. So our war machine is pretty much just taking on these Ungors. There we go, now they're starting to move. So as soon as we can, we're going to engage them and hit them hard in the flank. Let's actually get our cavalry to skirt out this way. And we can alter the angle of these two archers to better shoot the beastmen as they come in. Come on, field trebuchets, launch some more castle pieces at them. It's weird, because as a Bretonnian army, we actually outshoot these guys right now. Alright, let's just pause quickly. Get our units charging forwards. We're going to try and overwhelm this flank. Get our knights going up along the flank itself. Have the Green Knight go after Dahar. Chivalry can get stuck in over there. Phoenix, we're going to hold you back just a second. Lord Muffin, we're going to get you involved too. With our forces charging out like this, we should be able to theoretically just crush these guys.
Armored in faith. True Bretonnian. Lord of Bretonnia.
Oh, might as well take the potion of toughness. And our knights are in a perfect position to take out those Ungor raiders. Those Minotaurs really got stomped over here.
For the lady. Attack! Aye.
I'm seriously doubting the Beastmen's ability to deal with us on an open field. Did Dahar die already? No, he didn't. That should pretty much wipe out this army unit, so we're not going to have to deal with it. For 72 losses, 392 isn't bad. Though that should have wiped them out and subsequently destroyed the beastmen as a fighting force.
Taking my leave.
And of course, it's good experience for our guys. So we got a Lichborn pendant for
My strength and the wisdom
Chiffroy.
of
We're going to leave these guys close together just in case. Make Phoenix harder to hit.
Do you know who I am?
Now, Lord Eddie down in the Southlands.
If you insist.
You can get Foot Squires, which is going to be really good because you're pretty much going to be holding that entire place by yourself. Their upkeep is 155. So if we grab you a couple of units of them, a couple of units of Flame Archers, should take us to 39. But you don't have a Knight's Vow yet, so getting Knights is not exactly an option. Let's make it 3 and 3. And we have the commandment for Sarsassone. Conquest, Corruption, and Taxes. We can go with Untainted for a little bit till that Chaos Corruption comes down. And of course, when Sarsassone goes back up, we can build the Tower of the Fae Enchantress there and really see things through. And I'm hoping that this guy, Origio Orsini, doesn't want to get into a fight at a castle. I want to fight him on the open ground, especially since then we can ride down these two Bright Wizards who like their fire. He's got a lot of captains, a lot of characters. We can only see one unit of great swords, but it's the handgunners that worry me. Handgunners outshoot our archers. And I forgot to move Lord Grimaldus on his own. So he's back in Corone now. And Furix should be coming back up north towards Lord Eddie to help him out. Kind of weird that we picked up Martek as well as Al-Halik. But I'm okay with that. Lord Thegan and Thegan's errantry is not bad. And he has a warrior priest as his treasurer. Franz, have you kind of lost your marbles a little bit? Like, I get it that you've got a ton of armies with great swords and Reichland knights, but... or Reichsguard, I guess they're called. Special knights. Not nearly as good as Knights of the Realm. Personal opinion. Game statistics kind of belie that, because Reichsguard knights are fairly good. They're slower than Bretonnian knights, but pretty tough. But anyway, Karl Franz is just kind of losing his mind a little bit. I think he's too secure with the amount of territory him and his neighbors in Kislev have taken over. They haven't really faced any hardships right now, so there's not much they can really do. Ornery Bigaget, an Orc Shaman. That's a fairly large Orcish army. So that's two warlords, well, a goblin big boss and an orc boss, both named Sly. I think the orc might take offense to that. But the goblin's stronger, so it'd be a fun fight to watch. There's the zombie master Heinrich Himmler himself, and Himmler Gorst. So the master necromancer and the zombie master. It's actually Gorst who's the master of zombies, not Himmler. Gamler is just a really, really strong necromancer. And Carlos Shiptaker, I don't know what he's going to do. Alright, Tyrion, what do you want? Yes, we'll take a non-aggression pact with Lothern. Oh, we will so take that. And Avalorn? Oh, we'll take that deal too. We don't want to be at war with the elves. Well, again. We already had to kill one of their greatest generals because he attacked us. I'd far rather be at peace with Ulthuan than deal with anything else. We picked up Kofor too? Wow, Thegan's Eritrea had really spread out. I didn't realize that we'd gotten Kofor. Now this is going to be one of the bigger questions here. Is their army going to retreat, or is it going to stay with us? Because if it keeps pushing north, we can probably engage it on the open field, and yeah, they decided to fall back. Oh, there was another one trying to go through Avalorn. I think it's Avalorn. Either way, they've got another army right there. But we've taken back all of Bretonnian soil. Do we really want to push? That's the big question. And we got the North Guard, so Norscan tribes don't like us. No, we don't like them anyway. Alright, so what do we want to take this time? If we had the money, improved trade vessels would be great. We don't really have the cash for it right now. We could do subsidized tools, but we are trying to build another army stack. We haven't run into the Skaven. We're trying to play nice with the Wood Elves. Haven't run into the Dark Elves, really. We could start building up against the Orcs. Actually, that's what I think we'll do, because one method for our expansion is to go down through what the Empire controls here and start picking at the Crooked Moon tribe. I swear I think these things out in advance. I really do.
Protector of the realm.
I don't want to push down into Tilea knowing that there's a Tilean army right there.
You stand before the king in the woods. How dare you?
Oh, Ryan isn't ready to give us a non-aggression pact just yet. That's okay. Can we get Paravon to confederate?
Welcome to fair Bretonnia. Now,
We're not joining a war against the Wood Elves. And of course, I exited the diplomacy screen when I didn't really want to.
welcome, friends. Let's hope we can come to... Absolutely not. Valiant lord. The lady grants you safe passage in these... I suppose so. Welcome to fair Bretonnia.
Alright, so let's see if we can get military access amongst other things.
You mewling fool.
That helps us out a fair bit. I thought we could only confederate, though, if we had the research for it. Oh, it just gives us the option of having 100 diplomatic relations with them. It doesn't actually force us to take that to confederate with them. So, that's a good thing. Alright, so we've got a bunch of corruption. The winds of magic are weak there. We're going to keep Lord Phoenix. You know, I'm kind of tempted to do that end run against the Night Goblins. They've got a couple of cities. They've got one really powerful stack that we can see so far. So what we can do
You know who I am?
is Lord Muffin
Going forth. Blessings
and
of the
Shiffroy
lady upon you.
can stay with the king.
Guardian.
And Phoenix, we're going to send you back up towards Couronne. Send you up near Castle Artois. We'll build up your army and we'll send you through the Empire to deal with the orcs that are over there. And of course, King Lewin, we're just going to get you to pop out and go into encamp stance because we don't want you to get the unenviable trait of procrastinator? Yes, that's it. So, next turn we can actually upgrade to a village where Castle Sarsasonia is and upgrade it and have something else good going for us. In the meantime, we can get a brine mining pit to give us salt to trade. It's out of Brionne. Start increasing our trade abroad. Does make me wonder though, we're going to have to worry about everything that's going on in the south. So we're making 1588 a turn. We have some archers. Grab a couple of field trebuchets, which will come through for the next turn. And we might as well go with a couple of units of swordsmen. And that should do it for the peasants in that army. And once you level up once or twice, Lord Eddie, we can get you some knights to back you up. There's not really much you're going to be fighting down there. We just want you in a place to secure this. Now, if we could really get Thegan's or the Knights of Arigio to confederate with us, that would actually secure us an entire province down here, which would be great. But with a couple of battles out of the way and Bretonnia all secured, finally, that's probably a good place to end it for this week, guys. So if you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, possibly pop up in one of the Let's Plays, or just to be part of our community, just hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. But remember guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.